When most women think about menopause, they think about hot flashes, night sweats, and maybe some mood swings. But what if I told you that the real danger, the one that silently weakens your body, steals your energy, and hijacks your hormones after menopause, isn't just about what your body stops producing. It's about what you keep consuming every single day without realizing. There's something you're putting into your body, probably right now, that acts like a quiet enemy to your estrogen. It hides in everyday foods, sneaks into your drinks, and lives inside things you've trusted for years. And what it does inside your body, it confuses your hormones, disrupts your metabolism, and makes your postmenopausal symptoms worse. But before we uncover what this silent enemy really is, I want to know, where are you watching from today? I love seeing where this community is growing around the world, so drop a comment below and tell me your city or country while we get started. Let's take a deep breath and talk honestly for a moment. When estrogen levels begin to drop after menopause, it feels like the body you once knew starts changing without your permission. Your skin becomes thinner, your bones more fragile, and suddenly the belly fat that never used to exist begins to appear overnight. You might feel more tired, less motivated, and sometimes even disconnected from yourself. But the truth is, these changes are not just about aging. They're also about how your body reacts to the hidden chemicals in your food and environment that mimic or block the effects of your natural estrogen. These chemicals are called xenoestrogens. They act like imposters. They look like estrogen to your cells, but they don't behave like the real thing. Instead of supporting balance, they cause chaos, triggering weight gain, mood swings, fatigue, and even increasing the risk of hormone-related conditions. And the worst part? You're probably consuming them without knowing it, every single day. Now imagine your estrogen as a key that fits perfectly into a lock, the estrogen receptor in your cells. When natural estrogen binds to this receptor, everything works smoothly. Your metabolism, your mood, your bones, your skin, they all respond in harmony. But when these fake estrogens, these imposters, enter your system, they force their way into that same lock. They pretend to fit, but they jam the mechanism. They either overstimulate your receptors, causing imbalances, or block them entirely, leaving your body confused and unstable. That's why you can feel like your hormones are out of control even years after menopause. It's not just that your body stopped making enough estrogen, it's that your environment is constantly feeding you fake ones that mess with what little balance you still have. Let's talk about where they come from, because this is where it gets personal. Every sip of soda in a plastic bottle, every bite of food microwaved in plastic containers, every time you handle a receipt at the store, tiny doses of chemicals like bisphenol A, BPA, and phthalates enter your body. They're colorless, tasteless, invisible, and they act like estrogen. They attach to your cells, sending false signals. Over time, your body starts to store fat, especially around your belly and hips, because fat tissue itself becomes a storage site for these chemicals. The more fat you accumulate, the more xenoestrogens get trapped in your body, and the harder it becomes to lose weight or feel balance. It becomes a vicious cycle that feeds itself silently, while you blame yourself for not trying hard enough. But it's not your fault. You've been tricked by an invisible enemy that hides in plain sight. Even your diet, the one you believe is healthy, can be part of the problem. Many processed foods, especially those wrapped in plastic, canned soups, and even so-called diet products, contain preservatives and compounds that mimic estrogen. Certain pesticides sprayed on fruits and vegetables are also estrogen disruptors, known as endocrine disrupting chemicals. When you eat non-organic produce, you may be swallowing small amounts of these chemicals every day. They build up slowly, silently, like a toxin that doesn't make you sick right away, but keeps your hormones off balance. You might notice you're gaining weight in your midsection, feeling bloated, or having trouble sleeping. Maybe your skin is breaking out again like you're a teenager, or you feel more anxious and moody. Those are signs that your hormonal receptors are being hijacked. And here's the most surprising part. Even the foods that seem the healthiest can sometimes backfire. Take soy, for example. Soy is a natural plant source of phytoestrogen, compounds that can mimic estrogen in the body. For some women, especially those with very low estrogen levels, small amounts of fermented soy can be helpful because they provide gentle support. But for others, especially when soy is processed and consumed in large quantities, it can actually overwhelm the body with estrogen-like signal. The problem isn't soy itself, it's how it's processed, how often it's eaten, and what kind of soy it is. Soy protein isolates in energy bars, shakes, and processed vegetarian foods behave very differently from traditional fermented soy like miso or tempeh. Most women have no idea that by drinking a daily soy protein smoothie, they might actually be making their hormonal imbalance worse. The reason this happens is that after menopause, your body becomes far more sensitive to hormonal changes. The ovaries stop producing estrogen, so your body relies on smaller amounts from other sources, like your adrenal glands and fat tissue. That means any external chemical that acts like estrogen has a much stronger effect than it used to. Even a small exposure can throw your balance off. That's why symptoms like weight gain, water retention, and mood swings can suddenly appear again, even years after you thought menopause was over. Your body is still fighting for balance, but it's fighting with an enemy it can't see. The good news is, once you understand where these fake estrogens come from, you can start to reduce them and give your body a chance to reset. You don't need expensive detox programs or extreme diets. You just need awareness and small changes that make a big difference. Start by replacing plastic containers with glass or stainless steel. Avoid heating food in plastic. Choose fresh foods over canned whenever possible, and wash fruits and vegetables thoroughly, or buy organic when you can. Read your labels. Avoid products with parabens, phthalates, or fragrance in the ingredient list. These simple steps lower your exposure to xenoestrogens dramatically. And as your exposure drops, your body starts to rebalance naturally. Now, let's go deeper into what happens inside your body when these fake estrogens accumulate. Estrogen isn't just about reproduction. It controls hundreds of processes in your body, from how your brain works to how your heart beats. When these xenoestrogens interfere, your brain's hormonal signaling gets disrupted. The hypothalamus, which regulates hunger, mood, and temperature, starts to send mixed messages. That's why you can feel both hungry and bloated, hot and cold, anxious and tired, all at the same time. Your liver, which is responsible for breaking down hormones and toxins, becomes overloaded, trying to filter out these synthetic compounds. Over time, that liver burden slows your metabolism, causing fatigue and stubborn weight gain. Meanwhile, your thyroid, the gland that drives your energy, may slow down because it's sensitive to these same chemicals. So now, your body is tired, inflamed, and out of sync, all because of one invisible hormonal saboteur you never meant to invite in. It's heartbreaking because so many women blame themselves for these changes. They think they're eating too much, not exercising enough, or simply getting older. But in reality, they're living in a toxic environment that punishes them for trying to do everything right. You buy the low-fat yogurt thinking it's healthy, but it's wrapped in plastic and filled with artificial sweeteners that mess with your gut and hormones. You drink from a plastic water bottle because it's convenient, not realizing that every sip contains trace amounts of BPA. You try to stay positive, but when your body feels off, your confidence fades. And no one tells you it might not be your fault. It might be the silent chemical you can't see. But here's something beautiful to hold on to. Your body is resilient. Even after years of exposure, it knows how to heal when you give it the right support. When you remove the fake estrogens and start nourishing yourself with real clean foods, whole vegetables, healthy fats, quality protein, and natural fiber, your liver can detox more effectively, your hormones can communicate clearly again, and your symptoms can start to fade. Within weeks, you might notice you're sleeping better, your belly feels flatter, and your mood becomes lighter. That's the power of awareness. It's the beginning of transformation. In the next part of this video, we'll uncover exactly which foods and products are the worst estrogen disruptors and which natural choices can help protect your body after menopause. But before you go, I want to know something. Have you ever suspected that something in your diet or environment was making your symptoms worse, but you couldn't figure out what it was? Share your story below. I read every comment because I want this to be a safe space where we can learn and heal together. Now that you know this silent enemy exists, the next question is, where exactly is it hiding? And what can you do to fight back without turning your life upside down? Because let's be honest, when you reach menopause and your body starts to feel unfamiliar, you don't want to live in constant fear of what you eat or touch. You just want to feel normal again, strong, calm, and comfortable in your own skin. And you deserve that. The truth is, understanding where these estrogen imposters hide gives you the power to take back control, one small choice at a time. Let's start in your kitchen, because that's where most of the daily exposure begins. Think about your fridge right now. You probably have yogurt cups, maybe some leftovers in plastic containers, water bottles, maybe even some cans of soup or vegetables. Every time you open one of those, tiny amounts of endocrine-disrupting chemicals can leach into your food, especially if they've been stored for a while or exposed to heat. Bisphenol A, BPA, and its safer substitutes, like BPS or BPF, are common in plastics and can linings. The sad truth is that even though many products now say BPA-free, that doesn't always mean safe. Studies show that many BPA replacements act in the same way, mimicking estrogen and confusing your hormonal system just as much. When those chemicals enter your body, your liver has to process them as if they were real hormones. That extra work can leave your detox pathways overloaded and your estrogen receptors flooded with fake signal. Imagine your liver as a traffic controller managing dozens of chemical signals every minute. It's filtering toxins, balancing blood sugar, breaking down fat, and helping regulate hormones. But when it's forced to deal with constant chemical intruders, it can't do everything efficiently. Hormones that should be cleared linger too long, and those that should be activated never get the chance. This is how estrogen dominance can occur, a condition where your body holds on to too much estrogen relative to progesterone. Even if you're postmenopausal, this imbalance can still happen because xenoestrogens act as if your estrogen is higher than it really is. The result? Bloating, breast tenderness, mood swings, fatigue, headaches, and stubborn fat around your waist. Now, take a look at what's in your pantry. Many processed foods are packaged in materials that contain these hormones, but that's not the only problem. Certain additives and preservatives, like parabens and BHA or BHT, are used to extend shelf life and improve texture, yet they also mimic estrogen. Even something as innocent as your morning cereal could be a source if it's sprayed with synthetic vitamins coated in these compounds. These ingredients don't just disappear after digestion, they accumulate in your tissues, particularly in fat cells, creating a hidden reservoir of hormonal chaos. And every time you're exposed to more, the cycle deepens. But the problem doesn't stop with food. Think about your personal care routine, the lotions, shampoos, perfumes, and makeup you use every single day. Most women are shocked to learn that these products can be some of the biggest sources of estrogen disruptors. Ingredients like parabens, phthalates, and synthetic fragrances are in almost everything that smells good or stays soft. These chemicals are absorbed through your skin and go straight into your bloodstream. Unlike food, they don't pass through your liver first. That means they have direct access to your body's hormonal system. It's one of the reasons why so many women feel puffy or bloated after switching to a new product, or why their skin suddenly changes during menopause. Your skin isn't just reacting on the surface, your hormones are responding beneath it. And let's not forget about cleaning products. The sprays, detergents, and air fresheners we use at home are full of synthetic scents and stabilizers that also act like estrogen. Even the soft, fresh smell that lingers in your laundry might come from chemicals that stick to your clothes and slowly release over time. So you're breathing them in, touching them with your skin, and letting them become part of your daily environment. It's constant exposure, 24 hours a day, to something your body was never designed to handle. The reason this matters so much after menopause is because your natural estrogen protection has decreased. Estrogen used to support your liver function, your metabolism, your heart health, even your mood. Without enough natural estrogen, your body can't buffer the effects of these external chemicals as easily. That's why things that never used to bother you before, like a scented lotion or a bit of wine, might suddenly cause headaches, flushing, or bloating now. Your body is more sensitive because your hormonal system is more fragile. But here's the beautiful part. Sensitivity also means responsiveness. When you start removing these fake estrogen, your body notices. Your energy starts to return. Your mind feels clearer. Your digestion improves, your bloating decreases, and your belly fat becomes easier to lose. It's not magic, it's biology. Your cells finally get a chance to listen to your real hormones instead of all the background noise. So how can you start lowering your exposure today without making your life complicated? Start simple. Switch to glass or stainless steel containers. If you use plastic, never heat it or put it in the dishwasher. Both release more chemical. Buy water in glass bottles, or use a filter and refill a reusable metal bottle instead. Choose fresh or frozen foods over canned ones. Look for the words paraben-free and phthalate-free on your cosmetics and body care. Choose fragrance-free options whenever possible. It may feel small, but every swap you make reduces your body's toxic load. Next, support your liver, your natural detox engine. Your liver works day and night to break down hormones, neutralize toxins, and send them out of your body. But after menopause, it often struggles because it's overloaded with chemicals, sugar, alcohol, and processed fats. The best way to help your liver is through food. Eat cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, and kale. They contain compounds that help your liver process excess estrogen safely. Add foods rich in sulfur like garlic and onions, which support detox enzymes. Drink enough water to help flush toxins, and include fiber from fruits, vegetables, and flaxseed to carry waste out of your body. When your liver is happy, your hormones find their rhythm again. It's also important to watch your gut. Your gut microbiome, the collection of bacteria that live in your digestive system, helps regulate how your body breaks down and eliminates hormones. If your gut bacteria are out of balance, your body might reabsorb estrogen that should have been excreted, adding to the overload. Eating fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, or sauerkraut can help restore healthy gut bacteria, which in turn helps your hormones stay balanced. You might be amazed at how something as simple as better digestion can calm mood swings, ease bloating, and even reduce hot flashes. Another key step is to focus on anti-inflammatory foods. Chronic inflammation makes hormonal symptoms worse by blocking receptor sensitivity. Think of it like static on a radio. Your body can't hear the signal clearly. Foods like berries, leafy greens, olive oil, turmeric, and fatty fish reduce inflammation and restore communication between your cells and hormones. This is why women who eat Mediterranean-style diets often report fewer menopause symptoms. Their bodies are calmer and more responsive to natural hormone cues. And here's something most people overlook. Your thoughts and emotions can affect your hormones just as much as your food. When you're under constant stress, your adrenal glands pump out cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol and estrogen share a delicate balance. When cortisol rises, it suppresses estrogen activity, which can make symptoms worse. Chronic stress also slows digestion, weakens the liver, and encourages fat storage, especially around the belly. Learning to manage stress through deep breathing, meditation, journaling, or even simple walks in nature can help lower cortisol and restore hormonal harmony. You can't control every chemical in your environment, but you can control how your body reacts to stress, and that makes a powerful difference. What's truly amazing is how fast your body responds when you start taking these steps. Within a few weeks of reducing exposure and eating clean, many women notice that their bloating decreases, their energy improves, and their sleep becomes deeper. Their hot flashes may become less intense, and their mind feels clearer. It's not a coincidence. Your hormones are messengers, and when the noise from fake estrogens quiets down, they finally get to speak clearly again. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about awareness and small, consistent choices. Maybe you swap your plastic bottle for glass today. Maybe you replace your scented lotion with an unscented one next week. Over time, these little decisions build up into real hormonal balance. You're teaching your body to trust itself again. Before we move to the final part of this video, where we'll talk about natural ways to support estrogen balance, rebuild confidence, and protect your body from the inside out, I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed changes in your body after using certain products or foods? Do you suspect your environment might be playing a role in your symptoms? Share your story below, because someone else might need to hear that they're not alone. And if you're finding this information helpful, take a second to subscribe and join our growing community of women learning how to reclaim their health naturally. You can even write this in the comments so I know you're with me. I'm taking my hormones back. That one sentence can be your first declaration of healing. When you finally start to understand how powerful your hormones are and how much they influence everything from your sleep to your skin, something changes inside you. You stop blaming yourself for feeling tired, moody, or stuck in a body that no longer feels like your own. You start realizing that you're not broken. Your environment is just working against you. The silent enemy of estrogen after menopause isn't some mysterious force of aging or bad genetics. It's the accumulation of small, invisible things that sneak into your life, into your home, and into your bloodstream. And the moment you start seeing it for what it is, you begin to see your power again. Because awareness is the first step to healing. And once you open your eyes, you can't unsee the truth. The beautiful part is that your body has never stopped fighting. Every cell is still trying to find balance. Even when you feel exhausted, your heart keeps beating, your liver keeps filtering, your bones keep renewing. You may feel slower, heavier, or older, but inside, your body is still working hard to protect you every single day. What it needs now isn't punishment or restriction. It needs support, gentle, nourishing support that reminds it what health feels like. And that support starts with love. Love for your body, love for your health, and love for your future self. So, how do you bring your body back into balance once the silent enemy has already been there for years? You do it the same way you heal a friendship that's been neglected, slowly, with patience and with care. You start by removing the things that cause harm, and you replace them with what heals. The first healing tool is food, real food, alive food, not the packaged, plastic-wrapped kind that's been sitting on shelves for months. Fresh vegetables, colorful fruits, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and lean proteins become your medicine. Every time you eat something that's grown from the earth instead of made in a factory, your liver breathes a sigh of relief. It doesn't have to fight through artificial additives or preservatives. It gets to rest, rebuild, and focus on what it was designed to do, keep you balanced and strong. There are certain foods that naturally help the body process and eliminate fake estrogen. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts contain compounds called indole-3-carbinol and DIM. These substances support the liver's detox pathway that specifically target metabolism. When you eat these foods regularly, your body becomes more efficient at removing excess hormones and synthetic chemicals. That means fewer hot flashes, less bloating, more energy, and a lighter, clearer mind. Another powerful helper is flaxseed. It's rich in lignans, which are plant compounds that help balance estrogen levels by binding to estrogen receptors and blocking the fake ones from taking over. Think of flaxseed as a gentle guardian that stands between your body and the imposters. It helps regulate your natural estrogen rhythm, so you don't swing too high or too low. You can sprinkle ground flaxseed on oatmeal, smoothies, or salads. It's a simple daily habit that makes a real difference. And don't forget about hydration. Your body can't detox properly without enough water. After menopause, your cells naturally hold less water, which makes dehydration more common. When you're dehydrated, toxins move more slowly through your system, allowing them to circulate longer. That's why drinking clean, filtered water throughout the day is one of the most powerful and underrated ways to support hormone health. If you can, avoid bottled water and use a glass or stainless steel bottle instead. It's such a small thing, but over time, it adds up to fewer chemicals in your bloodstream and a cleaner, lighter body. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood parts of hormonal balance: fat. Many women fear fat because they've been told for decades that it leads to weight gain, heart disease, and poor health. But your body needs healthy fats to produce hormones, absorb vitamins, and fight inflammation. The key is choosing the right kind of fat. Omega-3 fats from fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel help reduce inflammation and improve cell communication. Avocados, olive oil, nuts, and seeds support hormone production and brain health. These fats don't make you gain weight. They help your body use energy efficiently. When your hormones are balanced, your metabolism works with you instead of against you. There's also one more thing that matters deeply: movement. Exercise isn't just about burning calories. It's one of the best ways to help your body eliminate toxins and reset your hormones. When you move, your blood flows faster, your lymphatic system activates, and your liver gets more oxygen. Even a simple daily walk can make a difference. Strength training, yoga, or gentle stretching can help you feel grounded again. Think of movement as medicine, not punishment. It helps your body remember what balance feels like. And as your body heals, your confidence begins to return. You stop feeling like a victim of your hormones and start feeling like their ally. You begin to understand that menopause isn't an ending. It's a transition into a wiser, stronger, more intuitive version of yourself. Your body isn't betraying you. It's asking for a different kind of care. Once you start giving it what it truly needs: clean food, rest, hydration, movement, and emotional peace, it rewards you in ways that feel almost miraculous. But healing doesn't happen in isolation. You need support, connection, and understanding. That's why it's so important to surround yourself with people who get it, people who remind you that you're not crazy or weak. You're simply in a new chapter. When you share your story, you not only help yourself heal, you give another woman permission to do the same. So if you've been struggling with mood swings, fatigue, or stubborn weight since menopause, I want you to know you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. You're living in a world that makes it hard to stay balanced, but you have the tools to change that. Take a moment and picture what it would feel like to wake up one morning and actually feel good again, to have energy before your coffee, to look in the mirror and recognize the woman staring back at you, not just her face, but her light. That's not a fantasy. That's what happens when you stop feeding the silent enemy and start nourishing yourself instead. When your hormones are balanced, your mind becomes clearer, your heart feels calmer, and your body feels lighter. You start sleeping through the night again. You smile more easily. You stop apologizing for how you feel. That's what real healing looks like. And remember, This isn't about perfection. You don't need to throw away everything in your house or eat organic food every day to make progress. Even one change, switching your plastic containers, eating more greens, or replacing your lotion, moves you forward. Healing happens step by step, not all at once. Every time you choose clean over convenient, every time you breathe deeply instead of stressing, every time you listen to your body instead of ignoring it, you're breaking the cycle of imbalance. You're telling your body, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm ready to heal. Your body will respond to that. It always does. Because your body isn't your enemy. It's your partner. It's been with you through every chapter of your life, and it's still capable of transformation. You just have to give it the space and the support it needs. So, as we close this conversation, I want you to take a deep breath and remember something simple. Menopause is not the end of your femininity. It's the evolution of it. You're stepping into a stage of wisdom, strength, and freedom. The world may tell you that your value fades with age, but that's a lie. Your value deepens. You're not just surviving menopause, you're learning how to thrive through it. And now, I want to invite you to take this journey with me beyond this video. Because if you've made it this far, it means you're ready to take control of your health and your hormone. So please, if this message touched you, give this video a like, not just for the algorithm, but to remind yourself that you're choosing health today. Leave a comment below and share what resonated with you most. Maybe it was realizing that plastic can affect your hormones, or maybe it was the reminder that healing doesn't require perfection, just consistency. Whatever it is, your voice matters here. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. This channel is a safe space for women like you, women who want answers, not judgment. Here, we talk about real health, real healing, and real hope, because you deserve to feel vibrant, confident, and at peace in your body again. Together, we can keep learning, growing, and supporting each other. You don't have to go through this alone, so stay strong, stay curious, and most of all, stay kind to yourself. The silent enemy might be powerful, but your awareness, your choices, and your love for yourself are stronger. This is your time to take your power back, not just as a woman, but as a whole human being. And I promise you, once you start listening to your body with compassion instead of frustration, it will start to heal in ways you never thought possible. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if this helped you in any way, not for me, but for you. Because every time you choose to learn, to connect, and to take care of yourself, you're creating the future you deserve. You're building a life that's lighter, freer, and more in tune with who you truly are. Stay with me on this journey, because the best version of your health story is just beginning.